17-year-old girl stabbed in the neck in daylight in a Bearfield attack. Lancaster. What the fuck? Like, can't y'all just name it something normal? Police responded to a Wood Street. This is easy. Wood Street. Damn, guys. Come on. At Briarfield at 3:06 p.m. on June 12th. Wait, it's today. It's today. So, arresting a 30-year-old man on suspicion of attempted murder shortly after the assault. The girl received hospital treatment for injuries that are not life-threatening. While officers detained the shirtless suspect near a police vehicle, authorities are increasing patrol. This shit just happened. Authorities are increasing patrols, seeking witness footage, and prioritizing her recovery amid community concerns in a small town. Where the fuck is Burnley, Briarfield, Landshire? Where the fuck is this place? Is this in Ireland? There he is. Damn. Damn. Wow. What a surprise. And so, remember what I told y'all was going to happen again? These people can't help themselves. It's what they do. And the thing is that they don't have the impulse control to stop doing it. Even when they realize that, oh my God, the Eye of Sauron is on us, maybe we shouldn't be stabbing people in the throat anymore, they are still going to do it because they can't control themselves. Yeah, where are they from? Hey, not from Britain, I'll tell you that. Certainly not from Britain. Attempted murder arrest after girl is stabbed. Stabbed in the back of the neck. And he's, by the way, he's 30 years old? Damn, man. Look at, God damn. He looking 45. No wonder he's mad. So that's he's younger than me. Oh my God. Bring out the guillotine? I know. 45. Why stabbed in quotes? I don't, because it could have been I don't know. It could have been a slash, right? I'm assuming, like, this is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming she wasn't stabbed. I'm actually assuming she was slashed. Because if you stab somebody in the neck anywhere, you'll kill them. Like, all you have to do is look at the anatomy of it. Like, anywhere in the throat, like, I mean, maybe there are, like, a handful of, like, hyper exceptions. But if you actually take a knife, like, more than a two-inch blade knife, and you stab it through a person's throat, you will kill them. They're dead. They're dead. That's it. It's over. Watch the video. She was stabbed twice. Okay, I'm going to watch the video off stream. Yeah, it's slashed because she ran away. Yeah, because if she didn't run away, the thing is that you need to cover Spencer Pratt's new video. I'll get to that. Incoming messaging from the left. It's a matter of time. She rebuffed his advances and mocked him, so she had it coming. There are a lot of big veins in the neck area. They said it's not life-threatening. A different post, it says she's in critical condition. Well, what the... Actually, why are we even talking about this? Like, I mean, obviously some psycho tried to stab her in the neck, right? Like, whether he did stab or slash her, the intent was to kill her, right? Like, we're splitting hairs for no reason. And so anyway, the migrant that stabbed her has now been arrested. Wow, what a surprise. Oh my God. And by the way, the footage isn't gruesome at all. She runs away. Like, if you really got stabbed in the neck, you would not be able to run away. You would just fall down and die, just like Charlie Kirk did, right? And so, like, that's just really the truth. But, like, you know, I'm just not going to play the video, right, obviously. And trying to justify third-world behavior? Yeah, I guess so. Let me scroll down and find these here. And 17 has been stabbed in the neck. Holy fucking shit, man. And let me pull up Tommy Robinson. Let me see what he's saying about this. Here it is. You choke on the blood? Yeah, you do. Wait a second. Oh my God. And this was literally an hour ago. This was today. Man. Oh, man. He really was that guy. He was. And absolutely. And where was the arrest for Henry's stabbing suspect? Well, they aimed to arrest the brother, too. They never did that. And wow. Holy fucking shit. People post a film for violence. Yeah, this is nuts, man. Holy shit. So they're really asking for a full chapter in history? They are. And I think that, again, I think it'll be justified if it happens. The reality is, like, the amount of violence and by the way, you will have another stabbing. This isn't, you think this is the last decapitation? No, this will continue to get worse and worse and worse. And so, what's the other Pride shirt you got? Oh, because I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it fit me. I can put it on stream. If I go downstairs again, I'll bring it upstairs and I'll show you guys the way it looks. But yeah, I don't like it. But I'll show you guys. Why not? Do it? Yeah, sure. It's super tight. It's not. If it was, I'd be wearing it. I think in the next 5 or 10 months, from how it's going. Yeah, think about, and this is the thing. Like, if we've had this many stabbings recently, and you have this many of these migrants and these crazy people that are around in these countries, it's only a matter of time that this is going to get a lot worse. It is. It's going to get a lot fucking worse because they're going to keep doing stabbings. They're going to keep doing beheadings. It's because they can't stop themselves. They're psychos. The Reddit, you can check the Reddit comments where they ban everyone. Oh no. Oh, there's a Reddit post about this? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Girl 17 stabbed in the neck in Lancaster street attack. Yikes. The footage has gone a tad viral on X. It's brutal, the poor girl. And yes, the suspect is someone who could set off more riots if the girl had died. I don't think it matters if he died or not, or if she died or not. I don't think it makes a difference. Yeah, Reddit's cracking. Well, Reddit, the thing is that, again, Reddit is actually very right-wing. Reddit is extremely right-wing. The only reason why you don't see that is because Reddit is overly censored. It is massively and insanely overly censored. So the only reason why you're not getting posts about me being right about everything, of course, is because they get banned. That's the reason why. That's it. Like British media, the Reddit supermods are hyper-leftist. Well, it's the company that's leftist. That's the problem. The company is allowing this, and the company facilitates it. Like, we had Reddit admins. The admins are the employees breathing down our neck at our subreddit because of that. Okay. That's a short article. I can guess who the attacker might be. And you're right. Ma'am. We need to hold our eyes open and stare. This is an evil of our making. Bullshit it is. One person and one person alone is responsible for that act. We're done with this. We're done. Nope. Nope, I'm not hearing it. Nope, they're all responsible. The rape gangs, the families knew it. The people let it happen. The communities protect it. Nope, we're done. Yep, gun control logic? Yeah, I don't think so. And that poor knife. Yeah, why would the knife do this? The people are allowing it? I know. And this kind of violence seems to be happening every day now. Here's what's funny, is that it's been happening every day for probably 10 years, if not longer than that. The reason why you're hearing about it now is because now the controls and this is the reason why they're going after Elon Musk so much. You have to understand that basically, like, this is a pipeline and Elon Musk opened the pipe. So basically, imagine like there's an entire sewage system, okay? And nobody is letting any of it out because, oh my God, if it gets out, then people will realize how much this whole place smells like shit. But then Elon Musk went and he opened the pipe. He opened it up and he let people on Twitter express what they really think. And that's the reason why Elon is public enemy number one. That's the reason why this dude can make Neuralink so paraplegics can fucking walk. He can make spaceships that can go to the moon. He can do electronic cars that can hopefully reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. He can, do any of these other things like the Boring Company, make a flamethrower, the Cybertruck, right? All of these things. He can do all of these things, and he is still their mortal enemy because he is doing the one thing that they can't allow. He's allowing people to speak their minds. And that is the one thing that they cannot allow. You can't allow freedom of speech. Because if you do, then you're going to have people talking about this stuff. That's the reason why all of these people are going after Elon. That's the reason why all of them hate Elon and they want to go after him and try to damage him, like bait assassinations on him and bullshit like this, like hate him for being rich. They're trying to assign an evil in order to hopefully damage his reputation and make people less likely to use his social media network. Here's another great example of this happening. How many times do you remember like every single mainstream media publication that's gassing up Threads? Or even talking positively about Blue Sky? Why would they do that? Why would so many of these other companies that are media companies talk so positively about a private social media company? Why would that happen? It's because they're upset that the media has lost control of the narrative. They have completely lost control of the narrative. This has been going on for a decade. And I've been hearing about it because I used to hear about it from my mom. She would tell me about this. But, now I see it myself. Ever since, controlled speech on those platforms, they have to control speech. Because if they don't control speech, what is this here? Half of the Facebook comments on political posts are people talking about killing each other or how they deserve to be killed, not speaking about that. Well, exactly, right? They call you many things but never wrong. Another migrant attack in Italy beheaded a woman. I think that one happened in February, okay? So that was a while ago. Oh my God. And then there's the guy. Imagine this fucking barbarian is running after you with a knife and you're just some 17-year-old girl and he's stabbing you and trying to cut your throat open. Oh my God. Really? He's Algerian? He's not British. I'll tell you that. The Italy one was yesterday. It got taught knives were banned in the UK, by the way. Well, then how did he have a knife if it was banned? Wait, no, that can't be right. Well, how could he have... No, because... So how... I thought they banned knives. Well, then how do people have knives? This is outrageous. I predict a larger push for gun ownership in the West. Guys, it's the same thing with the ninja swords. You don't need to get rid of the ninja swords. You need to get rid of the ninjas. That's the reality. Everybody knows it. It's not the guns. It's not the knives. It's not the ninja swords. It's the people using them. That's the problem. I don't understand how this isn't obvious. Oh my God. 100% correct. Yes, definitely. And this is why they want to ban X, so you can't say these things anymore. This is the reason. Yes, they don't want people to see this. And so where is... I'm going to just be retarded for a minute here. It's in the UK. Okay, it's in the UK. All right, that's good, because I legitimately had no idea. Okay, let me see. Can I pull the other ones up? Armed police called there. Is this the police? No, that's not it either. Holy shit. These tribalistic fucks think that disrespecting someone is an excuse for murder. Well, I have no idea why, right? I don't know. But I do know this needs to... And also, by the way, this will continue to happen. It will continue to get worse. And over time, I think that people will finally realize that you can't put up with this. You can't. And I also think that this problem will be solved. And the people in Europe have the option to solve this problem with somebody moderate like Rupert Lowe or with somebody else. And I guarantee you that probably, I don't know if it's going to be the next person after him. It might be the next person after that. The next person after that isn't going to be asking for deportations. They're not. I think they would be very wise, very, very wise, to just vote for Restore Britain and allow this to resolve itself without there being any sort of crazy shit happening. Because it's going to get a lot worse. There's no world that we can live in where there are random barbarians, shirtless barbarians with knives, running around trying to stab and cut the throats of 17-year-old girls. This is not sustainable. We all know this isn't sustainable. Everybody knows this, but for some reason, people don't want to talk about it. The sympathizers need to go too. Oh, if you get that third or second person, you have no idea. And, yeah. And anyway, people used to assimilate in the culture they migrate to. I don't know. Smoke to retire, I totally agree with you. Damn, bro, you got a platform. Want to see you tomorrow? Well, I'm not saying it's a good thing. Like, that's the entire reason why I'm advocating for it. Like, I don't want to have any sort of, like, crazy, you know, really extreme, like, violence or, like, executions and shit, except for these people, right? Like, I mean, obviously I want to see them, but, like, nobody else. But what I'm saying is that if you push people to a limit, they will resort to that. They will go to that level. And I know that's true because how do I know that? Because that every history event proves that. Like, it's obvious that this is what happens. Is that like when things continue getting worse, you will have a tipping point where they get so bad that people will accept a medieval solution to them. Like, this is something that happened in medieval ages, and it's something that happened, you know, in today's day and age too. It's not like we have this. There's a big fallacy that I think a lot of people in the modern age have, that we have advanced beyond our inclinations. The truth is that the human being has been evolved for, let's say, like 200,000 years, okay? Do you really think that we've made that much progress, like on a biological level, in 500 years? No. Of course not. So the same barbarians and the same psychos that were going around 1,000 years ago and decapitating entire villages, that's basically what we still are. That's pretty much the same thing. We're the same thing. And that is right underneath the surface. And I think that, by the way, and here's proof. Intrusive thoughts are the proof of that. Think about what those mean. Bullshit like ChatGPT? Yeah, more like 100 years? Yes, exactly. And what do you consider the government is spraying or injecting things in people to make them docile? Well, I don't think that's really happening, right? Modern life carries a more deterministic outlook to every corner of our society. Look at modern science and justice system, no free will outlook. Yeah, I know that. It's very problematic. And anyway, so I've stopped a few felonies right in the frontal lobe. Oh, wow. And that's crazy. I forgot that you can do that. Footage shows the beast. Thank God. Thank God we're talking about him like that. Oh, man. Oh, man. There are rules that makes us civilized human beings. Following them is very important. There are rules that make us civilized human beings. Following them is very important. I think that that's not really true. I think that if you look at the fact that we bombed Japan and we just vaporized women and children, it's really not true. We bombed Dresden. We killed thousands of innocent people. Like, it's not true. Like, I mean, it's just not. Like, and we would easily do that again. We would instantaneously do that again. You know, Israel blowing up apartment buildings and leveling Gaza. Do you think that America wouldn't do that? The only difference is that America, there wouldn't be anybody left. If China did that, there wouldn't be anybody left. Like, the entire idea of every single page of history disagrees with you. It's just not the way the world works. They don't follow the rules. Yeah. Yeah, those rules in the 1930s, too. We all know how that went. The chatter's an idiot. Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. And they firebombed thousands of little blonde-haired blue-eyed girls in Dresden. Yeah. Exactly. And Tommy Robinson's a Russian shill. Okay, well, he's still right about this. Yeah, he's totally right about what he's saying here. And I'm glad to see him talking about it. Yeah, let me see if I can find a few more of the other posts about this too, because this is pretty crazy. Especially see something like this happen right now in the middle of this, right? Holy fucking shit, man. Oh my god. 17-year-old girl in critical condition. Some people are saying that she's in critical condition, some people are not. So I'll read some more of the posts on Reddit, right? I'm getting distracted. The only argument I have against it, I don't think Israel would be able to do it without us. That's all I have. I 100% support Israel defending itself. I will always side with Israel over foreign terrorists. Like that every single time. But, you know, what I really side with is America. I don't want to side with Israel. I don't want to side with the foreign terrorists. I don't want to be over there at all. That's my opinion, okay? Sorry, guys. And, you know, again, a lot of people's hate for Israel is just hate for the West. That's it. They just don't want the West and that projection of power in that area. Israel's more advanced than you think because of us? Yeah. And this kind of violence seems to be happening every day now. And no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Sorry, you're right. It's every few days. Yeah, like, who is this guy? Who are you defending? Footage for this is appalling. I predict more violence, sadly. It will be necessary. It will. If they don't allow people to get rid of this democratically, it will be necessary. That's what's going to happen. And we wouldn't have wealth if it wasn't for that system. Let's be real honest. Which wealth? About like video games? I'm confused by that. And also, like, nobody would have any of these things that they have if they weren't, if it weren't for the West, right? I think that's true. Absolutely. You can't watch the video. Does it look like they know each other? I'm Canadian, so I admittedly might not have the best picture here, but it seems like you guys are sleepwalking into something ugly. Even Reddit is beginning to realize. Oh man, you have no idea. Same thing happened in France to an 86-year-old grandmother. Her throat was slit. I didn't see that one, right? We can't see all of these. Of y'all, how can you see all the hate towards Israel? It's just because we hate the West. What is this here? You know what? I literally don't care about what your opinions are on Israel. I don't care about Israel. I don't care about what's happening in the wars in the Middle East. I'm an American. I care about what's happening in America and Western countries. That's really what I care about. So, like, any of this other stuff, you know, you can get into it and argue about it. I don't want to argue about this one way or another. The sand wars, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. There is apparent footage circulating of this, and I urge you not to... Don't watch it! Don't watch it! Similarly, there are photos of the alleged attacker. Don't look at the photo. You don't want to look at... Oh, no! You can't see that! Oh my god. What is wrong with these people? Holy shit. Yeah, it's not even graphic? No, it's not that bad at all. And anyway, there are photos. Some girl's fighting for her life in the UK state says, be careful what you watch and share. You only care about censoring what's happening in the country. People are realizing this and it's not normal. People need to see what horrifying things people will do. Yep. Why on earth would anyone need to see some poor child stabbed in the neck? The reason why you need to see it for yourself is so you know that it's real. A lot of the problems that we have in the country now, and I think that in culture, is that people don't actually believe in evil. They think that evil is like a Marvel movie, and it's actually like, you know, somebody has some kind of greater goal. They have, you know, there's like, they're misunderstood. And people have always had a big problem with the, and this is even something that's biblical, because I even asked my mom about this, and she was like, this is the mystery of evil. Why are people like this? Nobody really knows. Nobody really has like a definitive, it's the demons, they're possessed, it's X, Y, or Z. We don't really know why. That's the truth. We don't. I mean, you could say it's genetic, you could say that it's mental, you could say that it's socioeconomic conditions. and I think that all of them are probably right to an extent, right? But the truth is that it is a mystery to us. People need to see it so they know that it's real. Because until you see it for yourself, many of these people don't believe it. There's the old saying, seeing is believing. Well, after AI, I think that we need a new saying. But I think that the old saying was popular for a reason. It's because people want to see this stuff so they can truly believe it, and they know that it's legitimate. And I think that's what's happened. Yeah, that's demonic and knowledge a lot. Where's my thing? I gotta open up another one of these. Oh no, did I lose my pliers? No, I didn't. They're on the floor. Okay, we're fine. Also experiencing the same shit as a local scale? Yeah, and also keep in mind too, this is another thing, is that the people that are doing this, they want you to live in delusion. They want you to live inside of a fantasy world. And they're trying to create this fantasy world by not allowing you to look at these different things that are happening. They want you to be misled. And they want you to not know that this is happening. It's crazy to see. I'm actually getting pretty good at this, man. I've been doing this for like a couple of days now. This is good. Wow. Look at me. I could have just ordered a bottle opener, but I have pliers, so I don't really need to do that. Oh, we're fine. Okay. I was like, why would I do that if I don't have to? And what is this here? According to Hindu logic, evil is mainly due to arrogance and anger and the upbringing of the person, which kind of makes sense. My opinion about it. I guess I can give you... Jesus, well, I get in trouble for this. My opinion about why people are like this is really, really, really bad. Basically, I will say what I think I can say. I think they're born with it. I do. I think some people spawn in and they're just fucked. They're fucked. They're totally deranged. There's something wrong with them on a very deep, profound level. And as soon as we acknowledge that, we can treat them the way that they should be treated, which is being isolated from society and treated, like a dangerous animal, because that's it. There's a study supporting your take. Well, it's obvious. It's obvious that's what's happening. In nature and nurture? Yeah, but I think that nurture is a bigger part than people make it out to be. I do. I think it's actually quite a large part. And so anyway, yeah, people. So he didn't even want people to see this. And no, people don't. It violates the dignity of the victim. It runs the risk of their family. It violates the dignity of the victim. This is all bullshit, by the way. I guarantee you, if it was basically, if it was a racist attack that was the other way around, you probably wouldn't be saying this. The real reason why they're saying this and they're high-roading is because this might go against what their programming is. Yeah, Pepper Pig shit? I guess so, right? 100% it's dumb to understand otherwise. Yeah. Why does evil have to be clear to ostracize cognitive dissonance from society? I don't know what you mean by that. You have to be more specific. And, you're born in society, so explain that. I don't know what you mean by that. A guy researching sociopaths tested himself and found out that he was a sociopath with APD, yet he was well-adjusted. People were predisposed. Yeah, there are people that, for example, most kids don't light cats on fire and torture them and kill them, but some kids do. That's not society. That's biological. There's something just profoundly wrong with those people, right? That's it. And I think that really the idea, there's a blank slate fantasy that everybody can be anything as long as the situation is right. Well, no, absolutely not. Of course not. And it's not even close. Explain PTSD. I'm not a psychologist. I have no idea. Hurt people hurt people. Why do you assume that? There are plenty of people that are murderers and evil who are actually just totally fine. Their lives are totally okay. There's no evil origin story. They just like killing people. They like torturing people. Why is it crazy for you that there are people that have every other interest in the world, but one interest you can't manifest the idea that one of those interests could be killing and torturing people? People like knitting, they like tailoring, they like woodworking, they like metalworking, they like playing video games, they like watching TV, they like exercising, they like driving. Are you really going to tell me that it's so unthinkable that a small handful of people will enjoy murder? Come on. I mean, really, it's just so delusional. Like Carmelo Anthony, I think he was just an idiot, right? That's an unsettling thought. It's not unsettling. It's just true. That's the way it is. Video games prove that? Yeah. Notification of chat is what bad things is human nature. Yeah, anyway, that's what I think. And let me scroll. Look at a few more of these. I'm going a tad viral. Oh, boy. And just give it a description. Let me see here if I find it. And if you have seen the footage, then stop being cryptic and just give out a description of what happened, because all you're doing is making people believe the attacker was not white and seeking out the video themselves. You're actually making a very... What does that have to do with... Why are you worried? You're making a shitty situation worse. Yeah, the guy doesn't look white. Oh my... Yeah, again, they want to hide the truth. They do. I'm Canadian. I told you guys. Our left insists anyone who speaks up against importing these people as racist and attempts to cancel them. If we're just going to go to extremes, we've seen in the last week, pogroms and NI, yeah, exactly, is openly whipping up people for migration, like some scenes of the National Front. Well, then they should leave. That's what I think they should do. They should get the fuck out. They're not supposed to be in Britain. Should have never been here in the first place. This is a problem engineered by the government. And not where I live. I wonder why there's no description of the perpetrator. I don't want to see the video. Not many outlets reporting on this. Part and parcel. It's time for thoughts and prayers. The mods will block comments soon, and there's a reason why. Don't let the government and these suicidal, empathetic people control the narrative. Comment removed by moderator. Wow. Well, there it is, guys. The only people that are actually going to leave the country voluntarily are the ones that would never do this. The bad actors will remain. Well, I mean, again, the problem, and you have to understand that some of the bad actors here, let me give you a good example of this, right? And I saw this the other day. Let me go and pull this up. I thought this was a very interesting and extremely predictable turn of events. So do you remember this guy? He's obviously clearly gotten older. Do you remember him from a couple of days ago talking about how racist and evil the country was? How racist and bad Britain was? Remember him?
A situation where a young girl in Dundee, the city that I'm speaking to you from, took out bladed weapons. 2 weapons, a knife and a small axe.
He's talking about... Let me show you what he's talking about. He's talking about this girl right here. The Skyrim girl? Yes, the Skyrim girl. So this is him discussing this topic. Just in case anybody forgot.
Video. And let me be clear, that young girl is also a victim of failure. No, this is not... No, and of course we can say anybody should know not to carry weapons and so on, but look, that...
She's defending herself against a migrant that was attacking and trying to make her and her little sister. 12-year-old girl in Scotland pulls a knife and axe out against men filming her in Scotland. Removed by moderator. I'm trying to work out if he's the hero gathering evidence of young teens about stating lethal weapons. Given that she has been arrested, it was most likely option 1. This was 10 months ago. This is what Reddit allows. What the fuck? And I want to make it one thing extremely clear. My goal with talking about this stuff is to radicalize people as much as possible. I show this and I portray this stuff in the most extreme and negative way so I can make people angry and they'll be willing to follow the solutions that I want them to follow. Because I don't want people to get this confused. I have a very clear goal with the way that I express this stuff.
Young person undoubtedly has a significant amount of trauma in her life. I can guarantee that without knowing fully her circumstances. But of course, Elon Musk, Tommy Robinson, and others, sympathizers of the far right, begin to spread misinformation that flies around the world like wildfire. That this young girl was defending her sister from a man who wanted to a migrant, who wanted to sexually assault her.
Which was proven in court later on. See? He's actually going around and saying that this girl, who is just totally fucking terrified, running away with her even younger sister, avoiding this migrant who's been following him, this is the person. And I'm going to play his new video after this. You're going to see what this is like.
And of course, that's why we needed all Pakistanis, Muslims, and people of colour out of this country, was then what was followed on. Of course, none of that was true. The police put out a statement yesterday saying that a Bulgarian couple, so European migrants, were approached by the youths, not the other way around.
You see, this was just a good migrant boy that was trying to do his best, and then these horrible, racist, evil 12-year-old girls tried to run after him and kill him. That's what happened. Brother and sister, this happened 1 day ago. So it finally got it finally got released, right? Brother and sister guilty of attacking girls in Dundee. Claimed he confronted the girls after receiving abusive remarks. What is this here? Admitting assaulting a 13-year-old girl. Wow. So he's just lying. He's lying and making this up in order to basically run defense. Yep.
And having reviewed the CCTV and having investigated further, the allegations made against the individuals, the migrant couple, were false.
So let's scroll down and see how he was talking yesterday, or the day before. Because I want y'all to see the difference here.
It's hard to shake off the feeling of how sick I feel watching the scenes that we've witnessed over the last couple of days in Belfast, Glasgow, and up and down the country. In 2026, we're witnessing people's houses being burnt to the ground because of the colour of their skin. Worshippers being told not to leave their mosque because there's masked men on the rampage in the streets of Glasgow.
Damn.
And of course, we witnessed riots in recent
This is the exact same person that was running defense for a guy that was sexually pursuing a 14 and a 12-year-old girl. This was less than a year ago. This is why I said before, never give these people even 1% of sympathy. To the extent that they suffer, ask yourself why it's not worse.
years in Southport and Southampton, and they don't happen in a vacuum. They happen
Awful.
in part because
Terrible people. Anybody that was defending this.
politicians like Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe, they deliberately pour a gallon of fuel on the flames of religious and racial divisions.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, what happened to Stephen Ogilvie in Belfast
Help me understand how someone can be so fucked in the head. It's just tribal alignment. It's tribal alignment and them using Western values as a basically disguise for them to push their continued stuff.
It's horrific. I personally hope the perpetrator spends a long, long time in jail.
Oh,
but
yeah.
why is it when an ethnic minority commits a crime, every single minority then has to brace themselves for possible revenge?
Because when a minority commits a crime, you go out there and you defend them by making up bullshit and thinking that the migrant was actually being attacked by a 12 and a 14-year-old girl as they were trying to run away from him. And then they found out that actually they were the ones being attacked the entire time, and it was a lie. That's the reason why. You get treated like a tribe because you act like a tribe.
Attacks. That doesn't happen, quite rightly, when a white person commits a crime. When Paul Doyle mows down Liverpool fans, or
because you don't have white. This is what I said yesterday. I don't want to go through all of it again. You don't have white people going and defending this.
Horrific rape against an Asian woman believing she was Muslim. White men don't suddenly fear that their communities, their families, their places of worship will.
And I want you to understand that people like him are actually more dangerous and problematic than the actual violent criminals. Because people like him are trying to communicate and push messaging and actually continue, like, he's trying to spawn thousands of these people into the country. The individual criminals are just some random idiot. He does something bad, he kills somebody, and then we put him in jail, and then that's it, right? But people like him are the real problem. They're the real enablers. They're the ones that should be the main focus. They're normalizing it. They're normalizing it, defending it, rationalizing it, justifying it, running defense for it, and everything else. It's important to keep this in mind.
Targeted. Again, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. The politicians who often cause that fear and division do so deliberately and then say it was nothing to do with them. So
He's a radical extremist.
For the rest of us to stand up against those who seek to divide communities, turn neighbour on neighbour. The worry is that if Nigel Farage ends up in number 10, then the scenes we witness over the last few days, they won't be one-off, but they'll be the everyday reality for so many people in our country. And we can't let that happen.
This young girl was defending her sister from a migrant, who wanted to sexually assault her. And of course, that's why we needed all Pakistanis, Muslims, and people of colour out of this country, was then what was followed on. Of course, none of that was true. The police put out a statement yesterday saying that a Bulgarian couple, so European migrants, were approached by the youths, not the other way around, and having reviewed the CCTV and having investigated further, the allegations made against the individuals, the migrant couple, were false.
How about that? Wow. Wow. Isn't that crazy? That's what they do. Yep. How about that? He's shielding it? I know. I tried to tell you guys. I did. And some people say I'm too harsh. They do. I honestly, I'm not even close to harsh enough. I am not. This one is crazy. Wait, there's another one. Mehdi Hassan. Oh, God. Oh, no. What about a ban on beheading? John Cleese, once a comedic hero of mine, is so red-pilled, so lost in online conspiracies of hate, so Islamophobic and obsessed with attacking Muslims on the left that he thinks that beheading is legal? Man. This is what I was saying before, is that there's no point, and people make a really big mistake in trying to engage these people. There is no reason and no desire that you should ever have to engage these people and to try to make any discussion with them, to try to make them understand your point, to do anything. Like, whenever I'm talking about these people, I'm never really trying to, like, I'm not interested in trying to convince people that are like them to agree with me. They're never going to do that. My goal is to radicalize people that already agree with me to be even more extreme in forming solutions for this problem. That's what my goal is. You can never communicate and you can never debate with these people, because if you do, what they will do is they will just lie to you. They will lie, misrepresent, they'll say things that aren't true, they'll misunderstand things on purpose. Basically, to them, it's kind of like Iran. This is a very good example, right? Iran uses negotiations as a military tactic. Negotiations and ceasefires are used so they can recalibrate and they can build up momentum again, and then they can be aggressive after that. And so every single form of communication and discourse that you have with a person like this is a waste of your time. It's a waste of your time. There's no reason to even discuss it with these people. Classic misdirection too, rather than focus on what he's saying, but he's talking in sarcasm to diminish the entire argument. It's so gross. Well, these people, I've said it before and I'll say it again, these people will always fall off on the side of supporting and enabling Muslim terrorism. They will do it every single time. And it doesn't matter whether it is in Iran, if it is in Qatar, if it's in the UK, if it's in Germany, if it's in the United States. They will always defend it every single time. And now people are seeing it, right? Look at the Mehdi Hassan clip. What is this here?
Different from the rest of the non-Muslims, from the rest of those human beings who live their lives as animals, bending any rule to fulfill any desire. Once we do that, we are lost.
The Kafars are they're people that left the religion, right?
In Islam, to believe is to know. To disbelieve is not to know. That is what it fundamentally comes down to. It is to remain ignorant, to cover up knowledge. After all, what is kafir? Kafir comes from the root word,
okay.
Which means to cover up,
it's their version of
to conceal. The kafir is the one who covers up that knowledge which is clear. The French Orientalist scholar Lamens, he once wrote that the Quran is not far from considering unbelief, disbelief, as an infirmity, as an illness, as a disease of the human mind.
Not believing it is an illness.
Non-Muslims point this out to us.
Isn't it crazy how anybody takes these people seriously?
And of course, the kafir, the disbelievers, the atheists who remain deaf and stubborn to the teachings of Islam, the rational message of
These are the people that want sympathy. Is that they have no problem going on tirades about, like jihad or something and holding non-believers accountable. But the moment that things bad start happening to them, well, now they start trying to appeal for sympathy. Now they start trying to, this isn't, no, not like this. This is so mean. Like, you can't say this.
Quran. They are described in the Quran as, quote, a people of no intelligence. Allah describes us. Not of no morality. Not of no belief, people of no intelligence. Because they are incapable of the intellectual effort it requires to shake off those blind prejudices, to shake off those easy assumptions about this world, about the existence of God. In this respect, the Quran describes the atheists as cattle. As cattle, as those who go into Christ.
I'm cattle.
And do not stop and wonder about this world.
Man. All of these ulama unanimously agree that at the very minimum, if Yazid was not a kafir, then at the very minimum, he was a fasir, a transgressor, a breaker of Islamic laws, a corrupt individual, a tyrant, a killer.
This is the person that's trying to dictate to you and tell you Western culture. This is the person who's trying to tell you what your country believes. This is the person that wants to quote your laws, your policies, your culture back to you so he can further enable this agenda.
A drunkard, a dog lover, a music lover, a homosexual, a pedophile, a sexual deviant, someone who slept with his own mother. These are them.
That's the reason why. Yeah, it was from a long time ago. And I still don't understand it's allowed anywhere, and it feels good in the world decides. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, very clearly, and if you listen to the way that these people talk, right, and everything, you'll see that they're fucking insane, right? They are. They're absolutely fucking insane. And they are defending the indefensible. They are. These people are defending the indefensible, and that's the reason why everybody's so angry. That's the exact reason. And I'm very glad to see that more people are talking about this and more people are aware of it. I think it's just going to keep getting worse, too, by the way. Like, this is only the beginning. And why don't we find Bruce Klein's preschool? What is this? I don't even know what this is. This seems deranged. And you're going to look at World Cup today? Support for the USA? Maybe. I don't know yet. And holy fucking shit, man. They talk like Hitler? Yeah, they do. They talk just like Hitler. And it's just insane for me to see this.